The high-minded man must care more for the truth than for what people think. This famous quote is written by Aristotle, and with this quote, we guys are going to start our physics fundas. Before considering the topic, let we discuss something. You want to open a door. Suppose this is a door and you are standing here and you want to open the door. There are two things that you can do. One, you can push that one, another one, you can pull that one. Correct? So this includes the force with the direction. In both the things, the direction of the force matters. You may have, I often get confused with pull and push whenever I enter the classy hotel or restaurant. But here, that only we guys are going to discuss, and that's why today's our topic is nothing but scalars and vectors. Now, what do we mean by scalar quantities and vector quantities? First of all, if we are defining the scalar quantities, we may say that scalars means only magnitude, no direction. And whenever we guys are going to consider vectors, we guys are going to tell that magnitude and direction both matters. Plus direction. Both of these quantities are unique in their own ways. For example, if we are considering the distance, we need to define direction. No need to define direction. If I am considering that I had traveled 100 kilometers in one day, do I need to tell in which direction? From my home, from my office? I didn't mention anything. So that particular quantity that I am supposed to tell you or I am telling you is a scalar quantity. Is purely a scalar quantity. But when I am considering that I have moved southward from my home, it is a vector quantity. I moved 100 kilometers southward in the south direction from my home. It includes magnitude as well as the direction. So these are the very fundamental concepts that we need to know when we are guys are, from point to point we guys are complicating the things which supposed to have a very simple things, but if you do not know some fundamental quantities or some basic concepts about it, you may find it rigorous. Correct? So now what are scalar quantities and what are vectors quantities that we know? Let us consider some of the examples of the scalar quantities and vector quantities. So can you tell me what are the scalar quantities and what are the vector quantities that you can consider by yourself? It will be very helpful for yourself also. No? Don't you have any idea? Fine. let we discuss. As earlier we have already discussed, we guys are not going to define scalar quantities and vector quantities, but your mass, let us assume that your mass is 50 kg. Does it need direction? In which direction? In upward direction? Towards the sun? Towards the moon? Towards the earth? No. It is simply a mass. Correct? You need not to define any direction. Fine? Okay. Very similar to that. Your height. Why we need to move around some things? Correct? Your height. Let's say that it is 165 centimeter. Of course, we reside in India. The identical measure is in centimeter, not in feet. Yes, we say that he or she is a 6 feet 6 height, very handsome and or very cute girl. Correct? But the basic concept that we guys are going to consider as far as physics is concerned is going to be in centimeter. And of course, here it is in general. Wherever we guys are going to discuss about physics, it should be in gram, not in kg. Correct? Okay, but we are assuming the simplest forms at present only. Here also it is not in centimeter, it is in meter. Fine? Okay, so height. Do you need to define in which direction? Towards the south direction your height? Towards the north direction? Towards the east direction? Towards the sun? Whenever you guys are going to lay down on your bed? Or whenever you are standing? Okay, one very fundamental question, one very fine question I do have with you people. I have to ask you people that you can search for that. Is it so that your heights remains constant when you are sleeping or standing? The whole concept is, let us assume that you are sleeping. You can laugh on my drawing. I had earlier also told, and now also I am telling. Your height at this point, and whenever you are standing, your height at this point, both are same. The whole fundamental question that I want to raise is this one. You have to find the answer of this question. Okay, fine. You may find some very fine explanations by going through finding this question's answer. So you must try for this out. Okay, fine. And now let us assume that in the early morning you went on to office. Your office is in which direction from your home? Either in east, either in west. So you need to define something called displacement. Or you need to define two things. 10 kilometer in south from your home. Correct? Another one finest example. You pulled the door, or you had thrown the ball. Correct? You pulled the door. You have applied certain force to the door towards you. You had thrown the ball. You are applying the force to the ball in opposite direction of yours. So here, how much but? When will the door will move? A sufficient amount of force should be applied by you, then and only then it will move. Otherwise it will not move. A sufficient amount of force should be followed by you to the ball, then and only then it may move. So here in vector quantities you need to define both the things, that is magnitude as well as direction. But in scalar quantities you need to define only one thing, that is magnitude. How much liter water do you have? 15 liter. How much water should a human should consume within a one day? It is 1.5 to 2 liter, 2 to 3 liter for an average person. So these are nothing but the scalar quantities. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Keep calm and love physics.